Hi Booktube, this is Gina, and I thought I would do the Booktube Newbie Tag today. So question one is, why did you start this channel? And I started this channel because I've been thinking about a channel for a long time, just in a very general, kind of small little corner of my brain. But the channels that I was watching were all like big booktube channels, and they had ads and fancy editing, and just didn't really appeal to me that much. And so when I discovered this little corner of booktube where people answer their comments and really have a sense of community, I thought that might be something I can do. And so I started thinking about it. And I have to say, if it weren't for Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading, I probably would not have started a channel. So I started it because Kelly encouraged me. She was so sweet and supportive. And I just thought that would be really fun. I want to participate in this community. So thanks to Kelly. Also, I'm getting older. I'm 53, and I have a really good life. I have a job that I love. It's very fulfilling. I get to work remotely, and it's very satisfying. But I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm starting to feel like my brain is atrophying a little bit. I just do the same things. I'm kind of stuck in a little bit of a rut, and so I thought it would be fun to have a little hobby, learn something new, interact with this wonderful community, learn some skills, just get my brain out of this little rut that it seems to have fallen into a little bit. Probably COVID has had something to do with that, since we're all at home and my normal outlets for participating in life are pretty much gone at this point. Normally at this time of year, I like to do a vacation to someplace warm, and I go with my sisters, and we sit by the pool and we read and we get some sunshine. And because I don't have any of that to look forward to, I just feel like I need some other kind of mechanism to re-engage in a community. So I'm really looking forward to this and being able to participate in this booktube community. Question number two is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to booktube? And this is an interesting question. I think a lot of people seem to struggle with this one, because really a lot of us just have the same thing. We want to participate in some bookish conversations. We want to meet some nice bookish people. I think to some extent, that saying that all the stories have already been written, all the movies have been completed, all the stories have been told, is sort of true. Like, I probably won't bring anything that unique, but it hasn't been done by me. And so I think we all have our own perspective and our own unique way we add to the conversation. We all think about things a little bit differently. So even though we're all talking about books and our bookshelves and what's in the books, we all have our own wonderful and unique perspective and things we can bring to it. So hopefully I'll be able to share some of that. I can just be me, and hopefully people will enjoy it and participate and say hi. Number three, what are you most excited about for this new channel? And same thing, I think. I'm just excited to talk about books, to show you all my books, to gloriate in the book that is behind me and the shelf that is behind me, which I just love, and just sharing that out and being part of the community, I think, is going to be wonderful. Question number four, why do you love reading? And I don't think I have a why. It just is something that was inherent in my DNA, something I was born with, something that I just loved from the moment I could read or knew about reading. I don't have any specific memories about being really young and reading. I don't remember anyone reading to me, although I'm sure that they did. My mother was bookish, and also liked to read, so I'm sure that she read to me, but I don't have any specific memories of that. So I just think that it's part of what I was born with. Um, it's not something that my whole family has. My rest of my family are not readers, so it's just me and my mom, pretty much. But I love I love the reading side of books, but I also love the physicalness of the book as an object itself. So I love to see bookshelves. I love to see people reading. You know those websites where it shows people reading on the subway or people reading on the bus? Those just make my heart go pitter patter. I absolutely love just looking at people reading. It might be a little bit weird actually, but whatever. Um, Y'all remember that series in the 50s, I Love Lucy? There's one episode where Ricky and Lucy are just sitting on the couch together reading I think it might even be a murder mystery now that I think about it. Um, and I just love that episode because they're just sitting on the couch reading. And so anytime I see a TV show where there's a book or they're talking about books, I just makes my heart go pitter patter. So something in my DNA is just aligned with books. I don't know what it is, but I'm grateful for it every day because it's so wonderful and enriching. And I just absolutely am grateful that I had the opportunity to accumulate books and read books, and I have a space for books, a shelf for books. So it's absolutely delightful. Question number 5 is, what book or book series got you into reading? And as I was thinking back on this, I started to think about The Lord of the Rings, which I think is maybe for us children of the 70s, that is probably a big book for a lot of us. And I did read that series when I was about 10 or 11. And this is not the actual copy that I had when I was a kid. I wish I had that. But this is the actual edition that I read. And I found this used, I think, for $1 recently. And this was the actual cover of the series that I read. And when I was that age, 10, 11, reading was really important. I had a teacher in school that really encouraged people to read and supported us in this habit, and it just made it really important. And so I'm so grateful that I had that experience, because that was really the first, I would say, sort of like adult type of books that I started reading was in that 10, 11-year-old range. However, when I think back, this was not the first series or the first kind of book that got me into reading. I went back a little bit before this, and I remember that I loved these Nancy Drew mysteries. So this was probably more the actual first series. When I was probably in maybe like 8 that I read these. And again, this is not this actual one I had. I wish I still had those original ones, but this was one I've just found used over the years. I have a few of these up on my shelves, but this one's wonderful. It's in really good condition. Look at that! Isn't that a great cover? So this was an early series. Around this time, I was also reading a lot of the books that probably a lot of the kids in the 70s were reading. The girls in the 70s were reading the Betsy Tacy books, The Borrowers, Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim. I think that was right around that same time. So lots of really great books in the 70s that got me started. So I'm so happy to have had such a wonderful opportunity as a kid to read and to be encouraged to read. My mother used to joke that when she had to punish me, she had to not send me to my room because I would just want to read, and I'd be like, okay, cool. Not that she really ever had to punish me very often, because I was kind of one of those, nerdy kids that liked to read and was never really in very much trouble. But that was our standing family joke for a long time. So this is just a really fun. I haven't reread this. Maybe I should go back and reread this and just see if it still speaks to me in any way. Um, Question number where am I? 6. Question number 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktuber? I'm going to skip this one. I don't really have any questions that I would like to ask a favorite booktuber that I can think of right now. And question number 7. What challenges about starting a booktube channel do you think will be the hardest to overcome? And I don't think there's going to be any hard challenges. This is a fun hobby. I don't plan to make it hard or difficult if it's not good, or if I do a video that's dorky or awkward. Oh well, that's just me. I think probably just learning to edit. I would like to be able to edit things and maybe put some, little fancy pictures up or things like that. I don't think that will be hard. I just think it will be some time to spend to play around, and I think it'll be kind of fun. But I'm also not a very analytical reader, so I think that will be challenging for me to try to think about books in a way that frames them so that I could talk about them, because I haven't really done that before. I read a lot, I enjoy it, I think about it myself, but I don't really think about it in a way where I'm thinking about it in a way that I can talk about it afterwards. So that will be, I think, a challenge, but also I think a fun challenge, something that will be good for my old lady brain, and get it kick-started again, get me thinking about things in a different way. So it's just excited. Thank you for being so welcoming to everybody. I'm really looking forward to participating in the conversation, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.